DSPN, the Devlin Sports Podcast Network.
The NRL is incredibly popular in this country. You know that, I know that, everyone knows that. The Warriors selling out every week. Is it time for another New Zealand NRL side? Of course it is. Where? Well, there are 3 bids coming out of Christchurch. Why 3? Graham Lowe's thrown his hat into the ring alongside a bid that involves Frank Endicott and another that involves David Moffat. Lowe joins us to explain who's behind his bid, why it should succeed, and whether or not there is a real chance that we will get this second NRL side. Lowe, welcome, mate.
How are you, Marty? Nice to talk to you, mate.
Before we even start, I'm hearing rumours, I don't know whether you've heard them as well, that Endicott bid may actually no longer be as part of the 3, that they may be withdrawing that, and it might just be down to 2. What do you know?
Yeah, I've heard the same rumours, Marty, but we'll just wait and see.
Expecting a statement over the next couple of days about it. Why is your bid the one that should succeed?
I think ours is well funded. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about the investor because he wants to remain private. But we're well funded. We're focusing a lot around our centre of excellence, which will be a multi-sport centre of excellence equivalent to anything in Australasia, certainly better than anything in New Zealand. And we've spoken with our coach, who's, again, I can't talk about because he's contracted to a club, NRL club. And we've got the people in key positions already there, just conditional to the licence arriving.
Is this just the old Wellington Orcas bid that's been dusted off a little bit, polished up a little bit, and represented?
And parts of it are Marty. It's a very comprehensive. I cannot see another bid going anywhere near to the extent that we've presented to the NRL. So it was always a good idea. It was always a good brand, and now's an opportunity to really put it forward and do something about it in a city that's got a fantastic stadium equivalent to anything that you'll see in sport.
Why Christchurch, mate? Why does it have to be there? And why not have competing Auckland clubs, for example?
Well, I don't think the NRL would consider anything like that because Auckland's got its brand. It's done its it's developed what it's got here, and they would argue, I'm sure, that would be like putting another team in Brisbane. It just wouldn't happen.
In terms of the NRL, the discussions that you've had with them, what are the feedback that you get? Is it as positive as what we want it to be and expect it to be?
To tell you the truth, Marty, we haven't had any dialogue with the NRL. No. Just like the other bids. Initially, we put our initial bid in to start with, which was very comprehensive. We were very proud and hopeful of it. The NRL, and that's no one knew we were in. We had no publicity whatsoever because the NRL had everyone under an NDA agreement.
Right.
So we stuck to that rigidly, and we did not say a word to anybody at all. We've only last week emerged and did a press conference over in Sydney, which was fantastic. All the major outlets were there. It was a fantastic. It couldn't have been any better. But as far as dialogue with the NRL goes, the NRL just asked for bids to start. Since then, we've heard little from them, except when they came and said all bidders had to up their game. So
what does that mean? What do they want?
Well, we just had to. I think we had to guess what they meant by that. But so anyhow, we went back with little time. I might add, they gave us little time to do it, but we've come back with another bid that really is very comprehensive. It's powerful. It's well funded. It's ambitious, and down there in Christchurch with that new stadium down there, I just. My mind just goes forward to a couple of years and seeing what could happen with the NRL team in that city.
What kind of timeline is involved here?
You tell me, Marty.
Right.
There's no.
It's a piece of string. Yeah.
We're not putting any pressure on the NRL. We're not asking. We're doing exactly what the NRL laid out. We're just following their guidelines one step after another. And when at the moment the NRL's in I think they've got a lot on their hands with what they're trying to get through with the Western Australian government for a team over in Perth. So we've just stayed right away, wait till they get that out of the way, and then I'm sure they'll look over here.
Is your understanding that a PNG side is definitely in, so it's just now down to another Australian side or another New Zealand side?
Both. Another Australian side and a New Zealand side.
Okay, so we're going to extend to 20 teams in total.
Yeah. They need 20 teams for the new broadcasting deal they want.
And where does that kick in?
The deal gets done in a couple of years.
In terms of Christchurch, and with 3 bids there, and again, what we're hearing is that one of those bids is actually out now, and it's just down to 2. Is 3 too many? Is that a crowded couch?
I suppose, the NRL will have to just decide on which one, but I take your point. 3 could be seen as too many, but 1 could be seen as not enough. So it's great to show that there is, a wide range of interest for this to happen down there. So there's both a positive and a negative thing with it as well, I think, Marty. Have
you had any contact with David Moffat and his bid? And would you be prepared to combine, if it was necessary, with that and the other bid that may or may not be going ahead?
I've not had any contact with David Moffat at all. And I'm not really, I'm not sure what he could bring to the table. We just have to wait and see. I think wait and see what the NRL's got to say before. I don't really think it's up to us to who we should bring in, who we shouldn't. But I think at a point like this, it's about selection. It's not about election. It's about selection, and we're really confident and happy with the team that we've got around us. And sure, there's other people with other skills that might be able to be brought in at some stage, but I don't see David Moffat as one of them.
But if it came down to that, the NRL says, hey, look, we want a team in Christchurch. Can all of you guys sit around the table and figure this out? Would you be prepared to do that?
Oh, we've already had a chat with Frank, the bid that Frank's with. We had a talk a couple of weeks ago when the test was on down there, and it was good. And, I think someone like Frank Endicott, I've got the utmost respect for Frank, and Frank is certainly someone I'd sort of like to think we might be able to do something with in the future, but it's too far away at this stage, Marty.
I mean, I keep going back to the same question. When, and when?
Well, you just imagine how it is from where we're sitting, because exactly. We're the same. But we're exactly the same, but we don't want to put any pressure on the NRL at all. They'll come back to us when they're ready.
Finally, I mean, I can't let you go without talking about the internationals over the last couple of weekends. I mean, being a very proud former Kiwi coach in that, I mean, you love that white V and just seeing those teams play, I just get frustrated, Laurie, and I know that you do too, about where this sits. You've got such a long season. It is governed by the NRL. You've got Origin, which is their priority as well. We've got a Pacific Nations Cup tournament, yet you've got Toa Samoa playing up again in England, which at the same time, which is weird. And now, they're talking about promotion, relegation, and they're talking about, okay, a tournament next year, yet at the same time, the Aussies are saying that they're going to go up and play in Ashes. So how the hell does that all fit together?
Yeah, it's there's no doubt about it. The international scene is a very complicated and complex issue at the moment. That's not right. There's too many games. The players have to play too many games. There's no doubt about it. That's why a 20-team competition is so important, because they'll actually play less games, and it will provide a better window opportunity for representative football. But gee, I think that you'd have to agree, Marty. It was just fantastic atmospheres watching those international games. Yeah. It was quite remarkable, really. It was fantastic. And Tonga has brought a freshness and a newness and an excitement that just came along at the right time.
And a quality and an excellence as well. I mean, that's they could bring all of that, but if they weren't performing on the field, it's something else again, isn't it? They are Champions League level. They are elite now in terms of international rugby league teams.
No doubt about it at all. No doubt about it. I actually thought it was of a better standard than the NRL, to tell the truth. It's more intense. It was probably nearer the Origin type expectation and viewing we see, but it was just fantastic. It was Gone are the days where the island nations had to, or they'll just be in for a while and then they'll fall apart. That island team, the Tongan team in particular, was absolutely jam-packed, full of stars who would be absolutely stars in any team they put the jersey on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they were Aussies and Kiwi internationals if they wanted to play for them.
Yeah.
Everything else going well, mate. Look at you. You look $1 million.
Mate, I'll tell you what, Marty, I was just thinking to myself when I was waiting to come on air, I think, gee whiz, I'm 78. And so this week I've been, believe it or not, I delivered a lecture at Massey University yesterday. Talking to you today, Friday, I'm going up to Nafa Prison to map out a new course we've got starting there.
Yeah, I know you do a lot of work up there. Yep.
Friday next week, I'm coming down to Christchurch for the Motor Trade Association gala dinner and awards, and I'm an auto electrician by trade, so I'm a tradie. I'm really looking forward to that. So things are going well. The trouble is, Karen keeps telling me I've got to wash the dishes.
We all live in the same world, my friend. Thank you so much.
Good on you, Marty. Thanks a lot.
DSPN.